folks, we're going to run the rest of our PEX tubing. As you can see, we've already started. We have the manifold attached to one of the roof trusses. We run some of our cold and some of our hot. I'm going to continue to show you how to do that. As you can see, you want to locate your bathrooms, laundry room, shower, toilet, and run the hot and cold as necessary to each. What we're going to do now is we're going to measure for the cold line for our shower. And let's get started with that. What you want to do is measure in a straight line from where you're going to run the line to the hole in the top plate, which drops down to your fixture. Then measure straight across or at an angle, depends on how you're going to loop the PEX tubing, and then straight up to whichever connection piece you're going to use. Now this stuff is somewhat flexible, but in this cold temperature it can be a little inflexible. As you can see, it's pretty tight. From there, you want to give it just some extra slack, another foot in length. But also you want to add the height of your wall to your measurements. From where we need to drop down, we've got 8 feet. And we come up to our connection points, about another 3 feet. Then we've got 9-foot tall walls. Do the math, you get about 20 feet. So let's measure a piece of cold supply at 20 feet. Easiest way for me to do that is to lay my tape down. Now I know here I'm standing on one piece of OSB and a piece of plywood that are 8 feet long. So I got 16 feet right there. I need another 4 feet after I measured the 16. Like I said, this PEX tubing is nice and cool, so it's a little hard to work with on this 1/2-inch line. Get a little unruly. What I usually do is when I walk it, step on with my feet. Keep the measurement accurate. This may not be the best method, but it works for me. have all your tools right next to you when you're doing this. This is a special pipe cutter. You use several different methods to do this. This one's made for PEX tubing. It's pretty easy. Clamps around, makes a nice cut. Nice clean cut. Just clamp down, twist it. What we want to do is we want to run it under this piece of decking, which is our desired path for this piece of supply line back to our manifold. Right underneath this connection piece for the ceiling joists. Keep it out of the way. What we've done here is we run it down our hole that we drilled through the top plate to supply the shower. There we go. Let me show you how to connect this. Connection mechanism is 4 pieces. The main nut, a locking mechanism, insert for the tube so that it doesn't crush down. It's a metal insert. A small lock washer that the locking mechanism clamps down onto. What we do first is we insert the metal interior piece into the end of the tube. Take the nut first, the locking mechanism second, and the washer third. That way we put about a 1/4 inch from the end. That way when this screws on to the manifold here, it starts to draw in and lock this down on top of this nut, pushing against this, and it's not going to come out. Not going to come out. Losing my voice. You want to pick the most desirable spot to run it. You got a nice clean finish on here on the manifold. I believe I'll let this spot open here. Just place it on. Tighten it down. And you're ready to go. You want to do a pressure test later. Got a nice clean finish here. I'm going to put one staple so it holds it in a nice clean manner over on the top plate next to the holes. Incidentally, these gloves are fantastic for working with PEX. They're a little sticky, kind of like receiver gloves. Gives you a good grip on this cold plastic tube. Make a nice clean connection as it runs through here from the manifold and down. Stays nice and tight with the hot water here, hot water supply line. I'll take the special stapler. It says 3 clicks per staple, but what I found is 4 or 5 times is even better to drive it down into the wood, into the stud or the plate. Really holds it a lot better. Kind of to backtrack, you want to place your manifold
in my opinion, it's better to have it up in the attic space. It's still easily accessible, but it kind of keeps it out of the way. It's easier to run the tubing coming from below, back up, around, and down again. So we picked this spot kind of centrally located to our toilet, which is in this direction for this side of the house. Our shower, we've got 2 sinks, got the washer dryer, and a laundry sink over in this direction. But we're about centrally located. We just screwed it to our roof truss, and it's nice and solid. It's not going anywhere. We'll run the supply in from the water heater, the hot and the cold supply, and here's a drain. So thanks for watching, folks. Appreciate it.